The general idea that a lot of people have is that, oh, a plant is just a thing I put in my room to make it look nicer. To be successful with plants, you can't think of them as objects. You have to think of them as living beings. What do I love about plants? What don't I love about plants? They're just so amazing. Like, they take basic elements, water, minerals, the power of light, and they just turn them into just amazing different complex molecules, compounds. All the things we use come in some way from plants, and they don't really ask for anything. If you want a plant to do well, you should probably think about where that plant comes from and what its natural environment is. And if you still aren't sure what kind of light you have, we have what's called the shadow trick. So you put your hand in between the plant and light source. If it makes a shadow with very clear, distinct lines, you have bright light. If it makes sort of a fuzzier shadow, then I would say medium light, indirect light. And then if your hand doesn't cast a shadow at all, then that's low light. So here you see a selection of 4 different low light plants. They're really great plants for if you have them away from a window, maybe on a coffee table, somewhere in a room that maybe doesn't get that great light. Marble pothos over here. You also have a green arrowhead. This one's a ZZ plant. It does a really great job at filtering the air. And this one's a nice peperomia. A lot of plants for low light areas, they will tolerate low light, but they won't grow really fast, so you won't see too much change in many of these plants. These are medium light plants, so as you increase the light, you're also going to increase the amount of water given and the frequency of water given. This one's a nice red Photonia. Notice how the plants start to get a little more colorful as you get them into brighter light. If it's in too low of light, the color will fade, or the plant will just die because it's not making enough food. This one is a begonia. The leaves have sort of a metallic luster, and they like a little bit more light. This one is a nice bird's nest fern. Most ferns, I should say, are medium light plants to low light plants. Ferns also have to be watered more than other plants. They actually like their soil to be moist most of the time, if not all the time. These are the highlight selection. Bright light, full sun. The staghorn fern is a highlight fern. It's one of the exceptions to the fern rule. They use the undergrowth as sort of padding and like a moisture sink, like a sponge, to keep themselves humid, because these actually in their native environment grow on the sides of trees, but with all this extra organic matter, it just stays moist. So they're really great, along with air plants for like kitchens and bathrooms where a lot of water is happening. I've seen a lot of air plants meet their untimely demise based on people who soak them for too long. And you can get away with soaking them, but I don't recommend them. I always recommend the spritzing with water. We got a nice Norfolk Island pine. These love a lot of light and also a lot of water. Indoor plants are different from outdoor plants in the fact that their entire environment is in that pot, and your room, of course. Sometimes you may like a plant and you may want to have a plant, but it may not be the right kind of plant for your apartment. If your apartment is hot and dry, you can't have those ferns, you can't have those air plants. And a lot of it is how far you're willing to go to adjust your life to the benefit of the plants. Like, if you're willing to make your living room a jungle, by all means, get like a humidifier in the corner. So there's a lot of thought involved in selecting a plant that's good for you. I always say, know thyself. Know yourself, know your space, know your plant. Part of our mission at the SIL is education, so not only do we care about plants, but we won't be like the other box stores. We won't just sell you a plant and say, oh, here, water it, go put it somewhere. We try to help people know about their plants and know about their space and try to help you, not have a black thumb. It was really my grandmother who fostered the love of plants on me. And as I got older, it became more of an environmental thing. I realized, hey, we're a part of this entire thing together, and having more greenery around, there's just so many benefits. I also want to spread the love and the knowledge for plants that I have to everyone, because I think that it's just awesome.